In this lesson, we're going to cover the basics of SEO or search engine optimization. So let's really just start with a basic definition. What is SEO, right? What is search engine optimization? So it's the process of improving your website to increase its visibility in search engines. So simple as that, right? Um, Now, when we talk about SEO, there's really two major players in the space. There's Google and there's Bing. And Google is really the 800-pound gorilla in the room. You can see here 97% of the search traffic is through Google. So, in what we're going to really be talking about in these lessons, we're going to focus pretty heavily on how to optimize for Google. And if you're doing the right things for Google, you're going to rank for Bing anyway. So, how does Google determine what to show? They're in the business of answering questions for users and then serving ads next to those responses, right? So, they want to be able to give the user the best possible response. So, how do they do that? So, it's really about relevancy and quality. For this particular search, how can I deliver the most relevant, highest quality answer to the user, right? So, from your perspective, how do you think about what is that ideal patient searching for? Um, what's going to be the most relevant for them? And then the content that you're creating on your site matches up to that query, right? So you're going to have a relevant query, relevant content to what that user is searching for. And then a lot of the work that you're going to be doing is improving the quality of your site, or at least the quality in the eyes of Google, so that when someone makes that relevant search query, your content, right, your website shows up ahead of others because you have the highest quality response to that answer. So, what are the factors? So, original, unique, and valuable content. So, what that really means is that you're not just scraping content from another site, copying it, and throwing it up there. Um, Keeping your website overall up to date, fresh, comparing the length of the content on your page to the content on another page. And so think about how this is happening in real time as that query is coming in. You know, Google's indexing these sites, and it's looking at it on a page by page level, right? So how does this page compare to another page for this same answer? So a longer page with more relevant content and a better structure and organization that's more relevant to that search input is going to show up higher. The other factor that Google's looking at is the quality of that site, the quality of that experience for the user. So if your web page is loading slowly, if it's not friendly for mobile, and so much of the search is happening today on a mobile device, right? So Google's really focused on delivering an answer quickly on a site that is going to load fast. Um, and then when it comes to um, really determining quality, backlinks play a huge factor. We'll go into that in more detail later on. And then how you're essentially optimizing your site for a particular keyword, or your page, I should say, for a particular keyword. So we'll kind of cover what the actual search results look like pretty quickly. So there's really three major sections. The first one is the paid results. So anytime you run a query, what you'll see at the top in Google when you get a response back is a paid section. So these are people that are actually paying to put ads at the top of Google. So they're paying and they're bidding on specific keyword phrases. The other section is what we call the local results, the local pack. And this is essentially Google delivering relevant results when there's a local component to a search. So you'll see in this search, we're searching for pediatric occupational therapy in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. So we've got a combination here of a keyword topic area with a location. So because of that, Google is going to deliver these local search results. And this is going to show typically directly below the paid section. And what this is showing is it's showing Google My Business profiles, Google Business profiles. And what you'll notice here is that there's actually a sponsored result inside of those places results. So Google only shows 3 of these currently for a search. So they'll show 1 sponsored result if someone's paying, and then 2 non-sponsored results. So you can see here, even in our case, someone's actually paying for this particular search, so they're going to show at the top because they're paying for it, and then we're going to be the top organic result that you're seeing here. And then in this next one, this is the organic search results, right? So this is showing right below the local results, the places pages. This is going to actually show a link to a website essentially. So in this case, for this particular search, we're the top result for our homepage, and then we have a specific location page for that locale, and that location page is also showing. So we ended up here with the first and the second result. This people also ask section's interesting. You'll see this on the vast majority of searches, I would say, and it's a nice place to kind of find ideas for content, because these are questions that people are asking about a specific topic, like what's the difference between pediatric OT and an OT? When should I send my child to OT, and does an OT help with ADHD? These would be really good topics for a social media or a blog post potentially, and you can even incorporate these into the content in your site as well. So let's talk about on-page optimization. So this is really where we're optimizing your particular website, your website pages. So the first really major component is what we call meta tags, and within that there's your page title and your meta description. So when we were looking at those organic search results, that's what's showing through on the result. So that that first kind of title, this is the meta page title. So you control potentially what shows here. So if you write a quality page title, Google's going to show that particular page title. And if you write a quality meta description, Google will show your meta description. If Google doesn't think they're quality, they'll actually show one for you. And that's actually one indication that maybe you're not doing everything you should be doing from an SEO perspective, right? If Google's not showing your page title and meta description, there could be an issue there. And so on your website, in the actual content, the real key here is what's called your H1 or your primary heading tag. So in combination with the page title, Google relies heavily on this H1 to understand what your page is about. So in your page title and in your H1, it's important to have that main keyword in there. And if it's a local type of a business, it's going to be a combination of your service that you're offering, right? Your main area of practice, and then a location tied to that. So you want to have that in both your page title and your main heading. And then when it comes to your subheading, your paragraph, and your anchor text, you want to have some kind of variations or associated phrases around that main topic. And we'll walk through a specific example in the next lesson so you can see exactly what that looks like. But that's the idea of how you're optimizing your page itself. So I'll move this down a little bit, but how does Google determine quality, right? How do they know that one page is better than the other? I mean, we talked about a multitude of factors, but one of the really key factors is this concept of backlinks or links to your website. So in this example, this piece in the center here, this is your website, and these are other website owners. And these website owners have pages, and they have links on those pages, and those links are actually pointing back to your website. So the way Google looks at this is they look at this as votes, right? So if all of these people are saying, hey, this is a great resource on the internet for this particular topic, then Google says, well, if everyone else is saying this is quality, then we should think this is quality as well. And so we're going to rank this ahead of other similar content that maybe doesn't have as many or really any votes. So what you're balancing here is trying to create relevant content, delivering it quickly, and also having a number of votes externally pointing back to that relevant, fast-loading content. When you combine those things, that's how you start to move to the top of the search results for your key phrases. And so how do you get backlinks? This is a topic unto itself, and we'll do more topics around this, but the best way to do this, right, the ideal way is to create a valuable resource, right? Create a piece of content that is so valuable that other people who write about this content are going to want to link back to it. And the other one, and this has worked really well for us, is Help a Reporter Out, or Harrow. This is a website that you can go to. You can sign up. They have a lifestyle and health category. And so if there's a relevant article, you can actually respond to the reporter. There'll be a few questions typically, and you'll answer those questions, and then the reporter would use you as a cited resource in the article. And that article is almost always posted online. And for being a quoted source, they'll actually give you a link back to your website. And what you find is this is a way to get on very high quality websites. So that's another factor, right? It's not just the number of websites, but the quality of websites that are linking back. And so a lot of times these reporters are working for really the top websites that are out there. And of course in the health and wellness space as well. And you can really see a very good impact by getting linked to in one of these articles. The other option is for you to go out and actually find blogs, find websites that write about your particular niche, your particular space. So you can just go into Google, type in your specialty, and search for things like guest post or submit an article. And that will actually help you to find websites that take guest contributions. And then you can actually write a post, submit it to that site, and then include a link somewhere in the content or in the bio linking back to your site. And that's another way for you to acquire links. And it's just making that a regular activity that you're doing. The other one, and you see this very commonly today, it almost feels like everyone has a podcast, right? So look at influencers in your niche. You can go onto social media to kind of find people that are popular, that are covering your space. You could interact with them, start to build a relationship over time, follow their content. And if they see that you could add value to what they're doing, you might even have an opportunity to join their podcast. And I think it helps you to get exposure for your own social platforms. And then typically they will post something on their website about the podcast and link back to you as well. So these are kind of all different ways that you can go about getting backlinks that'll over time really help you to rank better. And in all likelihood, in your locality, a lot of your competitors aren't doing this. So even just doing a little bit of work, you don't need to create hundreds or thousands of links, but 2 or 3 high quality links to certain pages of your website can put you well ahead of the competition.